Foods, makers of Our Pride Premium Pimento Cheese Spread and Dip. Rob Hall here, and our special guest today is the new 4-H agent for Person County. She's been on the show one time, and so this is her second appearance.
Yep.
And we would like to make welcome Michelle Ferris. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you coming out. And anyway, I guess it was probably 3 or 4 months ago when you was on the show, and so you've been at the new job going on now about maybe 5 months or so, Michelle.
Yes, sir. I've been here about 5 months.
And for those listeners and viewers that maybe don't remember, but you are originally from the Virginia area, correct?
Yes, sir. I'm from the Northern Virginia area.
Well, we're glad to have you as our 4-H agent. And 4-H is something that is extremely important to any and all youth. 4-H is open to ages between 5 and 18, correct, Michelle?
Yes, sir.
And 4-H can introduce a child to a lot of things that they may not ever have the opportunity to learn about. And it seems like I tell this tale every time we talk about 4-H. And I guess it was probably, I don't know, maybe almost a year or so ago, when Mr. Carl Cantalupi retired. And speaking of Carl Cantalupi, belated birthday wishes going out to Carl. He celebrated a birthday this past Monday, and I actually spoke with him by phone. Carl and his wife make their home up in Pennsylvania, and he's doing well. Ruth is doing well. He stays busy, and so just wanted to send out that birthday wish to Carl Cantalupi. But after Carl retired, we started bringing in the different agents, and at the time, Beth Davis, who is an employee here at the station now, was the Person County 4-H agent, and she came in one day and we talked about different things. And it wasn't until talking to Beth that I learned what the 4-H's stand for. And Michelle, if you would be so kind to tell everyone that may not know what 4-H stands for.
So the 4-H's that you'll see on the 4-H clover, they stand for Head, Heart, Hands, and Health. This is, that was established back in the early 1900s, and it's stuck.
Well, and another thing that I did not know, that 4-H is involved in many different aspects. And, you know, after I had interviewed Beth the very first time at the end of the show, I told her, I said, Beth, I didn't realize that 4-H was as big and as into many different things as it is. And she said, yeah, Rob, she says it's more to 4-H than cooking and cows. And so, but you was telling me that you have started up a new 4-H group here in Person County.
We do have a new 4-H club. It's a robotics club. They're going to focus learning about robotics and everything that goes along with robotics. So like you said, it's more than just cows and cooking. 4-H clubs can get involved in whatever their heart desires.
Well, you know, and Michelle, that was something that I, you know, didn't know about. And, you know, the 4-H is, a big base of it is volunteers. And if you are someone that would be interested in volunteering in 4-H, they would love to have you to help out. And maybe if you wanted to be a 4-H, would you call it a leader?
A club leader,
absolutely. A club leader. You just have to have a background check and things like that. And as Michelle just mentioned, with 4-H, with this new robotics club that they have, it could be, you know, more or less a gardening 4-H club. It could be maybe a club that goes around and helps do beautification projects, at different places throughout the county. It could be a 4-H horse club. It's pretty much the sky's the limit, so to speak. And if you have an interest in some field that you would like to share your interest with children, you should contact Michelle and tell her what idea you have, and if you would be interested in becoming a 4-H club leader, Michelle could help you work through the process, and then you could share your interest with area children. And maybe if you live in a housing development that has a lot of young children, it doesn't take a tremendous amount of time. How many hours is asked for each club to meet at least in a given month?
So a club can meet as often as they want to meet.
Right.
It's required that they meet at least 6 times in a year. So really you can have bi-monthly meetings, right? And I think they ask about 2 hours per club meeting for the leader to devote towards the club. Club meetings usually last between an hour and a half. It's a commitment, but it's not a huge commitment.
Right. Well, I think that a lot of more or less successful people, entertainers, a lot of politicians, a lot of them grew up in 4-H. And again, 4-H is open to ages 5 years of age all the way up to 18. So if you have a family member that is in between those ages, if they would like to get involved in 4-H, you can contact Michelle and share some of the interest that youngster between 5 and 18 that's involved in your family, what they may have, and Michelle may be able to offer some ideas. But it could be anything from maybe if it's someone that is interested in something agricultural or unagricultural. You're pretty much open to any and all ideas, correct?
Any and all ideas, like you said, sky's the limit.
Well, now, Michelle, a little bit about your background. Were you involved in both 4-H and FFA?
I was only involved in 4-H when I was younger. We didn't have FFA at my high school.
Right. But now, a lot of times, it is people that is involved in both 4-H and FFA, correct?
It is common that FFA and 4-H can go hand in hand, absolutely.
Although FFA is a little bit more ag-driven, as not saying that 4-H is not that way, but either organization, whether it's FFA or 4-H, it would really be good to have the young people involved. The nice thing about 4-H, they can start out as a clover bud at a early age, and 4-H can help teach responsibilities, and again, it will introduce that child to some things that they may not have any other way of obtaining that knowledge. Now, we'll talk about a fundraiser that you all are going to be having, starting up towards the end of the month. I think it'll be starting up October 25th. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. But a fundraiser that is going on right now for 4-H in conjunction with Tractor Supply. Tell us more about that, Michelle.
So right now at Tractor Supply, you can go and purchase a $1 clover. The proceeds will go to 4-H camp and other leadership scholarships. They do say that 90% of the proceeds come right back to North Carolina if you buy it in North Carolina. It's a really good opportunity to support 4-H camp. I took a group of kids to 4-H camp from Person County this past summer, and they had a blast, and I had a blast. And 4-H camp is just a great opportunity, and it teaches kids leadership skills and how to interact with other kids from around the state. And so head on out to Tractor Supply and get a clover. It's only $1, and you're supporting a great cause.
And you know, the thing about going to 4-H camp, each child has to pay to attend the camps, but through fundraisers and other means, a lot of time the child can receive what they call clover bucks to use towards going to the 4-H camp. And you know, if you have a young person that likes to get out and interact with other children, or maybe if you are someone that homeschools your children, 4-H would be a good way for them to get involved to where they could interact with other children.
Right.
And you can't go wrong. You really can't. And 4-H is there. It's established, and it's been there since the early 1900s. And I just can't drive home the information enough to try to get people involved in 4-H. We're going to take a break, and we'll get a word on for Owl Pride Foods. They are the makers of Owl Pride Premium Pimento Cheese Spread and Dip. And the holidays will be here before you know it. So whether it's a holiday or a snack or a meal, make sure that you keep that Owl Pride Premium Pimento Cheese Spread and Dip on hand. It's good as a snack or a meal. And one of my favorite ways to have it is if you take jalapeno peppers, fresh jalapeno peppers, cut them in half long ways, get the seed and the membrane out of the pepper, put some Owl Pride Premium Pimento cheese in it, put it in the oven and bake it a little bit, and to me that is some kind of delicious. Here's more information from Owl Pride Foods. Goodness grows in North Carolina. Owl Pride Premium Pimento Cheese Spread and Dip is made in Roxborough. You can pick up some to enjoy at T.G. Brooks Company, Twins Market, Hurdle Mills Market and Butcher Shop, North Main IGA, Food Lion, Just Save, Supply Line Discounts in South Boston, Virginia, Kenyon's Meat Market in Mebane, and Bacon's Meat Market in Hillsborough. Or you can enjoy it at Cole's Pharmacy, Trish's Espresso, and the Clarksville Station. Whether you're having Owl Pride Premium Pimento Cheese Spread and Dip for a snack or a meal, it's delicious. Owl Pride Premium Pimento Cheese Spread and Dip is made by Owl Pride Foods in Roxborough. Pick up some and enjoy it today. For extra flavor, try the jalapeno added. That's Owl Pride Premium Pimento Cheese Spread and Dip. Alrighty, here we are back on the Gardener's Corner program. We're glad to have you tuned in. Our guest today is Michelle Ferris. And anyway, you was talking about the new 4-H club of robotics. And is it any such thing as a Lego 4-H club?
We do have a Lego club. The Lego club is at North End Elementary School and Woodland Elementary School. This is a club that's offered to elementary school students at these schools. It's run by Mr. Doug Glenning, and they explore different Lego activities and STEM activities, and I think they have a really good time.
Well, and also just to mention and talk about the summer 4-H camp. They get to do a lot of things there. They get to do archery, swimming, get to do spend some time in the water in a canoe or kayak, and What do you call it when you like on this in this harness and you gliding down this cable or something?
So they call it the high ropes course.
Okay.
And it's similar. It's not really bungee jumping, but they call it the swing. I was at Millstone 4-H camp in Ellerbe, North Carolina, and what they did was put these kids in the harness, and then the kids worked as a team to pull the person in the harness up, and then when the person was at their height that they wanted to be at, they'd say stop, and they'd stop, and they'd let them go, and they'd just swing back and forth, and it was really neat to watch some of the kids overcome their fears of being so high up, and they had a blast. Some of the grins on their faces were priceless.
I'm sure it was, and it also helped teach them all about teamwork.
Absolutely.
And, you know, the old expression, it's no I in team.
That's right.
Now, last week was National 4-H Week, and what is pretty much the purpose of National 4-H Week?
So National 4-H Week is to just raise awareness to people about what 4-H is and tell people it's not just cows and cooking, like you said. It's just emphasizes on what 4-H can do for youth and what it can do for our future. And like I said, it just highlights how great of a program 4-H is. And I could tell you all day, every day that I love 4-H, but I'm a little biased.
Well, as you should be. And, you know, it's interesting, something that you have been involved in. The biggest part of your life is now became your occupation. Mm-hmm. And I know Beth Davis was pretty much the same way. And Beth's mother was really big in 4-H. And anyway, Michelle, now, is something that is going on next week, to be precise of the date. It's going to be Tuesday, October 17th, and it's Very Important Parents, the annual Halloween Festival. If you would tell us about that, what all goes on and the location of it.
So the Very Important Parents program will be hosting their annual Halloween Festival on Tuesday, October 17th. That'll be from 3:30 to 5 p.m. and it'll be at the Person County Extension Office in the auditorium. And what they're going to be doing there is talking about safety tips for Halloween, you know, taking your kids trick-or-treating, what to do, what to avoid. There will be monster story time, games, prizes, and crafts. And it's for children ages 0 to 5, so it's going to be a really good time. To RSVP, just call the office and ask to speak to Carla Johnson, and she will get you on the list, and you'll be able to join the activities.
And that phone number, 336-599-1195. Again, it will be Tuesday, October 17th from 3:30 to 5 o'clock. And, you know, Halloween is a fun time, but we also really need to exercise safety. And, again, this event is open for children ages 0 to 5. So, for more information, 336-599-1195. And again, who is the Very Important Parent Advisor?
Miss Carla Johnson.
Carla Johnson. So she can give you more information about that. Well, now, Michelle, a little bit more about Person County 4-H. Other than the more or less the Clover fundraiser that is going on at Tractor Supplies, you all will be having your annual Wreath and Garland fundraiser coming up, and that will be starting on October the 25th, correct?
Yes, sir.
And if you are wanting a Fraser fir wreath or the double mixed wreath, and this is something new this year, isn't it?
Yeah, we're offering something new this year.
The Christmas Star. Now, these wreaths are very fragrant, they're very pretty, and they are pretty much just made of the Fraser fir, and then you can decorate them to whatever way you may like. But they smell wonderful, And you know, at Christmas time, the fragrance of the Fraser firs are really just kind of add to the season.
That's right.
And what you can do is, if you would like to purchase one of these reefs, again, they will not start taking orders until October 25th, and we'll try to keep you reminded about that. And you have to have your order placed and paid for by November 14th. Now, if someone that's maybe watching on TV or listening on the radio would like to find out a little bit more information, I'm sure you will be putting some information about this on the Facebook page,
Yes,
correct?
absolutely. On October 25th, I'll be making a post about it on our Facebook page, which is Person County 4-H, and I'll attach the files, and people can go and look at the flyer on Facebook, and they can also come into the office during our office hours, and I will have forms for them to fill out, and they can turn in payment.
Now, just for asking, payment has to be either by check or cash. You cannot accept credit card.
No credit cards. If you bring cash, it has to be exact change.
Okay.
And we accept checks.
And this wreath fundraiser sale, if you know someone that is involved in 4-H, you can contact them about purchasing one of the wreaths. Or if you don't know anyone that is involved in 4-H, if you place your order through Michelle, she may say, well, you know, a portion of this purchase could be donated to one of the 4-H, you know, members. Do you know anybody that's involved in 4-H? And if you do, you can say who that person is, and that money would be turned into Clover bucks for that individual. And if you don't know any person, you might just say, well, just if you have someone that maybe is a little bit short on funds, you know, let it go towards them. So not only will you be receiving a beautiful, fragrant wreath, you will be helping out some of the young 4-Hers. But again, what is the Facebook page?
The Facebook page is just Person County 4-H.
And you can watch for that posting to be out on October 25th. We're going to get a word on for T.G. Brooks Company. Tell you, no matter the time or season, T.G. Brooks Company is always ready and available. Here it is, fall time of the year, and also something that they have well, I shouldn't say 7 days a week because they're only 6 days a week, but they have it year-round. It's hand-cut ribeyes, and they also have the Lodge cooking ware. So here's more information from T.G. Brooks Company.
The leaves are falling. It's October. Fall season is in full swing with warmer days and cooler nights, and T.G. Brooks has your fall needs. Time to plant your turnip seed, your kale, mustard, collards, and broccoli. More importantly, it's time to sow the yard and do fall planting. There's no better time of the year to reseed and refeed your lawn. T.G. Brooks Company has plenty of advice and plenty of supplies. Enrich your yard with needs like lime fertilizer grass seed, including the new Top Choice Turf grass seed for greener and plusher lawns. Many people have been to T.G. Brooks Company and picked up or had delivered beautiful mulch, including some of the triple ground mulch, and they have mulch in several colors. It's also time to do some raking, so get your lawn rakes and your tools to do the work. With cooler weather, don't forget a dog kennel, shavings, Bartlett Animal Feeds, and Pride Dog Foods. And this time of the year is time to check over your stovepipe needs and fittings. Also, they have your replacement parts for Taylor wood stoves like blowers, anode rods, rust inhibitor chemicals, and pumps. You know, next month we'll be celebrating Thanksgiving, so keep in mind T.G. Brooks Company will have your Thanksgiving delicious, famous T.G. Brooks Company country ham. So plan now to put that on your shopping list for later on. From cast iron cookware to case pocket knives, from grocery needs to radio flyer red wagons, from plumbing supplies to electrical supplies, they have them. And plenty of advice, especially for your lawn and garden. Be sure to pick up some hand-cut ribeyes and take them home, pop them on the grill, and everybody's going to be excited. T.G. Brooks Company thanking you for your business and looking forward to serving you. Phone them at 364-2428.
Here we are back on the Gardener's Corner program, and Michelle Ferris, who is the Person County 4-H agent, is here with us today. And we've been talking about a lot of things pertaining to 4-H, and we're going to continue to do that in just a little bit. But we're going to get into a little bit more of Michelle's personal life. And she just told me some information, and want to share it with our listeners and viewers. And I asked Michelle, was it okay? And she said it was. And she is actually going to be getting married 1 week from tomorrow. And she's going to be going up to West Virginia for the wedding, and that's up there close to where she's originally from. And Michelle, want to wish you the very best. We sure do. And your future husband, and his name is
Jeff.
And now, are you going to continue to go by the last name Ferris, or am I going to have to learn a new last name?
You're going to have to learn a new last name.
and what's that going to be?
So my new last name will be Van Ness.
Van Ness. Okay, well, I'm going to have to do my best to try to remember that. But again, congratulations, and hope that things go well between you and Jeff, and maybe I'll have at least a dozen children. I'm just thinking. I was asking Michelle about a few things, and she said, Rob, she said, we're just trying to take it slow and one thing at a time. She said, our biggest goal is getting the wedding behind us. And I know it's a lot of preparation and time and energy and money. But again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Want to wish you and Jeff the best. We sure do. Now, Michelle, you may mention something about coming up in the near future. It's going to be an ag field day for 4-H.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about that, if you would.
So Ag Field Day is an annual event that's been happening for several years, from what I understand.
Right.
This is an event that Person County Cooperative Extension with Person County 4-H puts on for the 5th graders in the county. This event will be held on November 3rd this year, and we have 8 different schools so far that are going to be represented, and we are serving 227 students at this field day this year. And it's for 5th graders, and they're going to have the opportunity to learn about the different agricultural commodities that are represented in Person County as well as throughout the state. We have representatives that are going to come talk about dairy, cattle, beef cattle, hogs, horses, buffalo, the small grain industry, popcorn, and beekeeping, just to name a few. And we're also going to have a booth from the local FFA chapter, the forestry department, and Jennifer Grable will be doing a booth on nutrition, and she's our family and consumer sciences agent here in the county.
And so this is open to all 5th graders of Person County.
This is open to the 5th graders at the schools in Person County, and I have had 8 register. My deadline's October 19th. I'm hoping a few more schools will register, but
Now, when you say you've had 8 different 5th grade classes to register.
I've had 8 different schools to
8 different schools, okay.
register their classes. We've got, oh goodness, I can't name off the top of my head what schools are coming. I know Roxborough Christian Academy's coming.
Okay.
Bethel Hill Charter School is going to be attending.
And then there's North End, North Elementary, South Elementary, Oak Lane, Woodland, Helena, Stories Creek. I'm sure I'm forgetting.
Stories Creek is attending. I can't tell you off the top of my
Well,
head which ones are attending.
It's really neat because it'll probably be a big majority of students there that will be introduced to some things that they have no idea that even exist.
Right.
And you never know what it may be that child is introduced to that will spark an interest.
Absolutely.
So again, we want to say, get that child of yours involved in 4-H. And again, that will be coming up. The deadline to register the 5th grade classes in schools is when now?
October 19th.
And that will be, I guess, what, maybe next Tuesday or
next
so?
Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Yes.
And the actual field day date is when?
It's November 3rd, which is
November
a Friday.
3rd. So you need to go ahead, and you are right, it is next Thursday. And so those parents that are listening, and I know these kids are in school, but those parents that are listening that has a 5th grader, you may want to talk to some of the representatives of the school that they attend and get that 5th grade class involved in this ag field day. Now, here it is, fall time of the year, winter time will be there, but as far as the summertime goes, is it a lot to do with 4-H that could keep the children kind of busy during the summertime, Michelle?
Absolutely. 4-H has so many summer activities that they can be involved with. It almost blows your mind about how much stuff that they can do. For example, this summer we had our summer fun program, and we had 8 extremely successful programs that we held. For example, we had a pet pals where the kids went and spent the day at the local animal shelter here in Roxborough, and we got to spend time playing with the dogs, walking the dogs, playing with the kittens. It was a good experience for the kids. I also had a Clover Bud Day camp, which was mainly for my 5 to 8-year-old club members. I did a public speaking. We did a public speaking day where we taught the kids the importance of public speaking, because they say an adult's biggest fear is public speaking, and so if you expose a kid to it earlier, maybe they won't be as afraid of it as an adult.
And maybe they will, public speaking will be like a second nature to them.
Right, absolutely.
And you know, Michelle, I think it's really good that you all introduce the children to you things that you do at a young age, because it does, 4-H will help build confidence, character, responsibility, and you know, a confident person is one that does not mind facing new challenges. And you know, life brings on a lot of challenges, and you know, I'm not sitting here saying that 4-H will teach a child the best way to deal with challenges that life brings on, but what 4-H will do, it will teach you how to prepare yourself for upcoming challenges.
Absolutely.
And again, you can contact Michelle by calling 336-599-1195. We're going to get a word on in just a little bit for Sandling Golf Course. Well, actually for South Boston Memorials. Sandling Golf Cars is one of our sponsors that sponsors the program every other week, as well as South Boston Memorials is a sponsor every other week. But we're going to get a word on now for South Boston Memorials, and they're located, believe it or not, in South Boston, Virginia. Here's more information.
South Boston Memorials, located 1439 Seymour Drive in South Boston, Virginia, has been in business since 1958. The Myers family of South Boston Memorials believe that every life has a story. For 4 generations, their life work has been to present and preserve that story for our prosperity to hear. Allow South Boston Memorials to tell yours. South Boston Memorials has granite memorials, markers, and mausoleums, over 300 in stock. In-house laser etching is available at South Boston Memorials, and they can also make pet markers. For memorial benches, vases, and monuments, call on South Boston Memorials at 434-572-3859 or visit their website, sobomemorials.com. That's 434-572-3859. South Boston Memorials is located 1439 Seymour Drive in South Boston, Virginia. Like us on Facebook or visit the website, sobomemorials.com.
All right, here we are back on the Gardeners Corner program. It's brought to you today by South Boston Memorials, T.G. Brooks Company, and Owl Pride Foods, makers of Owl Pride Premium Pimento Cheese Spread and Dip. Again, we'll make mention about the 4-H fundraiser wreath sale that will start October 25th. We'll do our best to keep you reminded about that. And Michelle, starting on October 25th, will be posting things on Facebook about it. And those of you that are Facebook users, I'm sure she would appreciate you clicking the like button and the share button. So it would be nice to set some new records on the 4-H wreath sale. Again, running October 25th through November 14th. Now, Michelle, you were saying something about 4-H Summer Congress.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what all is involved in that, and in which ways is the Summer Congress different from the Summer 4-H camp?
So the North Carolina 4-H Congress is a leadership event that they hold in Raleigh. It was 3 days, and it's for teens. So I had a teen representative from Person County come with me, and we went to Raleigh for the 3-day convention of sorts. And they go through workshops. They did a public speaking workshop, and it's a good time for teens in the state to get to know other teens from 4-H and learn leadership skills. And our representative that went, she had a great time. She's been several times. If you have a teen at your home and you want to get them involved, send them my way. I'm looking for more teens to be in the 4-H program. And along with 4-H Congress, they have another leadership opportunity called North Carolina Youth Voice. This event's hosted by the North Carolina Association of County Commissioners, and this was held in Durham. And our one representative went and represented Person County well, and they got to learn about what a commissioner does and more leadership opportunities. There are a lot of leadership conventions, per se, for teens to be involved with in 4-H. And I like to tell parents, and I will tell parents this shamelessly, that 4-H looks really good on your kids' college applications. And if you've
that's a good point.
Absolutely.
It really does.
And if you've got a teenager that's looking at going to NC State or UNC, they really like to see that involvement in extracurricular activities, and they really like to see that leadership involvement. It shows that your child has commitment to stuff and has learned the skills and is suitable to go to a 4-year university. I tell people a lot that 4-H helped my college application out because I got to put on my resume that I have 4-H, and I tell people today I still keep 4-H on my resume because it shows the leadership skills I started at a young age.
Well, that's really good, Michelle, that you made mention of that. And again, 4-H is open to youth as young as 5 years old, all the way up to 18 years of age. And it has been some that has gotten involved with 4-H at 5 years of age and stayed there till they were 19. And pretty much how that works is whatever age you are on January 1st, you are considered that age throughout the entire year. And a lot of those 19-year-olds have came back to volunteer and help out and do things. So it's really good, you know, in a sense, you become a part of 4-H, but after you're involved, 4-H becomes a part of you.
Absolutely.
And you know, as I made mentioned earlier, you know, did you ever think that when you became involved in 4-H, that one day that 4-H would be your occupation?
Honestly, I did not. I did not. I didn't even toy with that idea until I was a junior in college. But I am so glad that it's my career. I live and breathe 4-H, and I absolutely love it. And I don't think I'd be happier anywhere else right now.
Well, that's good. If you love what you do, it's going to show in your work, in your devotion. And these people that are wanting to get involved in 4-H, again, maybe you would like to start up your very own 4-H club. And, you know, you could, I don't have all the ideas of what, you know, good 4-H clubs would be. But, you know, you may have one that you would like to, you know, start volunteering. And, you know, it's a lot of parent 4-H club leaders, and you don't necessarily have to be a parent to be a 4-H club leader. But again, it's made mention before, if you do want to become a 4-H leader, you have to go through a background check, because, you know, anybody that has their child involved in something, they want to be assured that that child is going to be safe around the people. And I think that it is a good idea that it is mandatory that the 4-H leaders has to have the background checks. Now, Michelle, when you were growing up in 4-H, what parts of 4-H were you really involved in? I mean, were you in several different 4-H clubs, or were you pretty much devoted to one?
So I was devoted to one. I was a horse girl growing up. I was in our county horse club, and in my horse club, I think I started in about 7th or 8th grade. I had a late start to 4-H, but I held all the offices except for treasurer. We just kept the same treasurer. It makes it easier.
Right.
But I held all the offices in my horse club, and I competed at the district level for 4-H horse events in Virginia, and I competed at the state horse show in Virginia. And I tell people all the time that the responsibility I learned of having to take care of my own animal and knowing that that animal relied on me, you know, it taught me a lot of responsibility. I learned a lot of great leadership skills from having to be, when I was president of my 4-H club, and, you know, organizational skills and stuff like that. And I was also involved in it was a teen council type deal. We just did community service stuff, and I wasn't as involved in that one as I was my horse club. But
well, now, what type of showing did you do?
So I grew up showing hunter jumpers, and I did that when I was younger. Then in college I dabbled with Western, but
oh yeah, but started out as a hunter jumper then.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any horse-oriented 4-H clubs here in Person County?
I do not have any horse-oriented clubs, which breaks my heart. So if you know anybody that wants to start one, come my way. I'd love to have a horse club. I'd love to have a livestock club. I'd love to have whatever club you want to have.
Yeah, so those horse owners out there, you doesn't have to have a big place. And Michelle had mentioned earlier, they just ask that you have at least 6 meetings per year, or you can have them more often. And, you know, it would do yourself good. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people sometimes don't realize, Michelle. When you volunteer, you're giving back, You may not feel like you are getting anything in return, but years down the road, if you have some child that you helped along the way come up and say thank you, it really makes you feel warm in your heart.
Absolutely.
It sure does. So again, you can contact Michelle by calling 336-599-1195. And again, Michelle, tell us more information about the Cloverleaf fundraiser going on at Tractor Supply Company.
So at Tractor Supply Company right now, until Sunday, October 15th, they are having the Paper Clover campaign. And all you have to do is when you go and make your purchase at Tractor Supply, they're going to ask you if you'd like to support 4-H, and hopefully you say yes, and it's $1 for a clover, and that money goes towards 4-H camp and leadership opportunities and scholarships to help send kids to these events. And like I said, 90% of the proceeds come right back to North Carolina, and the other 10% goes to the national level, but it is all going to 4-H.
And just to let you know, October 15th is Sunday. Then we're reminding you about this very important Parents Annual Halloween Festival. Will be this upcoming Tuesday, October 17th, from 3:30 until 5 o'clock at the Person County Auditorium, 304 South Morgan Street, here in Roxborough, and it's open to ages 0 to 5. They'll have safety tips, Mockster story time, games, prizes, crafts, and more. They ask that you do RSVP by calling 336-599-1195. And the lady's name again they need to speak with?
Carla Johnson.
And she is the very important parents volunteer, correct?
Oh, she's the
representative?
She's the representative.
Okay.
That's her program.
All right. So, again, 336-599-1195. Well, Michelle, do you have any parting remarks about some things that we did not mention today?
I think we covered everything.
Well, again, want to wish you the best of luck as you're going to be entering into the newlywed scene 1 week from tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
And you were telling me while we were taking a commercial break that your wedding is actually going to be in an apple orchard.
Be at an apple orchard, yes, sir.
And it sounds like a good time. Along with the good luck, we want to wish you good weather for the wedding.
Thank you.
And I know it'll be a happy time for you and Jeff, and want to wish you and all the very best. Thanks goes out to our sponsors, T.G. Brooks Company, South Boston Memorials, and Owl Pride Foods, makers of Owl Pride Premium Pimento Cheese Spread and Dip. We appreciate the time that you have been in tune with us here on the Gardener's Corner program, and we look forward to having you back again next week at the same time for another edition of the Gardener's Corner program.